I've sold over $1 million worth of used books. And in this video, I'm going to go over step by step how you can do the same. All you need is your smartphone to get started. And I'm going to go over what supplies you need to run the book business. It's only going to cost a couple $100 depending on how much you want to spend. So we'll be covering all of that. Really, I'm going to go over how to determine if books are profitable, where to find profitable books, how to list these books to make them active on Amazon, how to reprice your books, and then ultimately how to scale your book business. I run a book business now that only takes a few hours of my time a month, and it's completely ran on autopilot. And if you guys follow the principles I'm about to teach, you can accomplish the same. It is a ton of work. I do believe it is the easiest way to get started on Amazon. And even if you're just interested in learning the ropes of Amazon, books, in my opinion, are the best to get started because they're easy to deal with. They're dirt cheap, so you can't really lose money with this business. You're only paying $1, $2, $3 for the books. At the very least, if you go through what I'm about to teach you in this video, you'll have the knowledge of packing and sending shipments to Amazon FBA. And I run a wholesale business now. I've purchased over $20,000 worth of inventory in the last 30 days. And I have that part of my business also operating. It only takes a couple hours a month. But the only reason why I had the confidence to jump to other products was because I started with used books. And used books is a great way to make a lot of money. If you guys look at my Amazon Savages podcast, I had Luke and Katarina who went through my book selling course. By the way, this is the course here. I'm giving you guys the information for free, so I'm not trying to sell you a course. I don't even sell this course anymore. But they went through my course at the time that I charged $400 for, and now they're doing $20,000 in sales a month. So that's Luke and Ekaterina. And then we also have Seth Kordick. Really proud of him. He bought my course a few years ago, and now he's doing $300,000 in profit. That's his goal this year. He did well over 6 figures in profit last year. His goal this year is to do $300,000. Now he's doing eBay to Amazon flips. So he's buying items off eBay and selling them on Amazon. But he started with used books. And then we also have, a ton of other people who have had success. If you guys go to the Amazon Savages podcast, that's my podcast where I interview people from all different corners of the market, whether they're booksellers, wholesalers, online arbitrage sellers. And a ton of people have had success selling books on Amazon. So I do believe this is one of the best ways to get started. So for anyone that doesn't know who I am, my claim to fame is about 6 years ago, I decided after college, I wrestled in college and I was taking a gap year. I was going to go to physical therapy school, become a physical therapist, spend 3 more years in school, going in debt. And I decided instead of doing that, I'm going to be a weirdo and I'm going to live in my car, travel across the country, find used books at thrift stores, libraries. That's all I knew, the only places I knew to find books at the time. Go inside those places, scan the books, and make shipments to Amazon on the road. And that's what I did. For 3 months, I lived in my car, went out to California. For the first time, I saw the Grand Canyon. I saw the Pacific Ocean, went up to Oregon. It was a great trip, and I don't regret it at all. But that was kind of my foundation for selling on Amazon. I had a little bit of success selling on Amazon before. I was selling my textbooks in college. So I knew textbooks. I was selling textbooks for hundreds of dollars on Amazon. So I knew you could sell books on Amazon. So when I saw these YouTubers talking about it, it kind of made sense to me because I already had success doing it. So I knew it wasn't a complete scam. Like I knew these people weren't just trying to, sell a dream or take advantage of me. So I was like, I know I've sold books on Amazon. This guy, Reezy Resells, was talking about going into thrift stores, scanning books. And I'm like, okay, let me try this. And it was hard, but once I got in the groove of things, I'm going to teach you guys some of the secrets that I've learned over the years. I was able to consistently send boxes of books to Amazon on the road. So the first thing I want to cover today is scanning the used book. So we're using an app called Scout IQ. I'll link it below. If you guys use that link, that will give me a little bit of coffee money. There's also another app called Scoutly. They've basically copied everything Scout IQ did. So they're more or less the same app. Scoutly is a little bit cheaper, but Scout IQ, I believe, is better for a few reasons. But really, either of these apps, whichever one you decide to use, what you'll be able to do is take your phone and you'll just scan the barcode of books. And you'll do this at places. I'll go over all the places you can find books in just a second. But you'll go to your local library or thrift store. They sell books on the shelf. And you'll scan the book, and it's going to tell you if it's profitable or not and how much profit you're going to make. So as you can see, this book is $70 profit. And this is after all Amazon fees. So I can break this down for you guys. This book right here, this is textbook. It would sell for $91. That's the current low price. And Amazon's going to take $13.80. That's their 15% cut. Amazon always takes a 15% cut on each item. They're going to take a $1.80 closing fee. Amazon has lots of fees. $5.40 FBA fee. This is the fee that they're charging to put the book in a cardboard box or a poly mailer and ship it out. $5.40. Usually that fee is between $5 and $8 depending on the size of the book. Inventory storage fee. This is an estimate, but you do pay storage fees for items you send to Amazon FBA, and I'll go over exactly how to send your items to Amazon FBA in just a few minutes. But so just know if you send inventory to Amazon, you are going to pay storage fees to some level. And for this book, it's only estimating a 1 cent storage fee because it's probably going to sell pretty quickly. So this is going to have little to no storage fees. And then total fees are $21. So all those fees added up. So if we sell it for $91 and it sells and the fees are $21, we're left with a true $70.58 profit. There's also a 38-cent fee to send it to Amazon. So when you ship the books to Amazon, Amazon actually charges your account because they partner with UPS. They give you really good shipping rates. So we're only paying about 30 cents per pound, sometimes less, to send the books to Amazon. So that's a breakdown of how much profit we would make just on this one book. Now, the old way of doing this was people would go into thrift stores and they would either write down the ISBNs of all the books, or they would call their friends on the phone and they would read the ISBN number while they're in the thrift store. And their friend would be on Amazon.com looking up the price, right? And so their friend would be manually typing it in, looking up the price, and then they'd be doing the math in their head with all the fees, and you say, oh, that's a good book to buy, or they would look at the sales rank. Oh, that's not it. As you can see, that would be a very tedious process. But with this technology we have, now what you can do, it's like cheating. You can just take the book and scan it, scan another book here. So as you can see, this barcode, you can scan the book, and it quickly tells you, it turns green if it's profitable and red if it's not. Let me see if I can find a non-profitable book. I bought this book in Spain. Boom. All right, there we go. So it's going to turn red like that if it's not profitable. And I'll put a quick video of me scanning books here. This is how quickly you can scan books. And all you need is your phone. If you want, you can invest in a Bluetooth scanner. I recommend the Nadamu scanner. This is the Opticon. This used to be a really popular one, but I really think the Nadamu scanner, and I'll link the Nadamu below as well, is better. And all this does is connects to your phone, so you can have your phone and you can strap it to your wrist, or you can keep the phone on the shelf or wherever you want the phone. I recommend putting headphones in too, because the apps have audio cues. So it sounds like a cha-ching noise if it's profitable, and it goes like dun-dun if it's not profitable. So I recommend putting headphones in and just scan, aim for like 500 books an hour. And if 5% of the books that you're scanning are good, you'll be finding about 25 books per hour. And it's not uncommon for your average book to make you about $10 profit. So you can easily, as you can see, you can make over $100 an hour pretty easily if you have a good source of books, if you're scanning fast and you get your systems dialed in. But this would not be possible without the technology and without these apps. So it's very important to, optimize your systems. And we'll talk more about optimizing all your systems when it comes to repricing, listing books, in just a few minutes here, but I really want you guys to have an understanding of what this app is doing. It's telling you whether or not the book has sales velocity and whether or not, after all Amazon fees, it's profitable. You can also enter the buy cost here. So you see it says buy cost 0. Let's say you're at a thrift store and all the books are $2.50. You can enter that. And now let's go back to that profitable book we scanned. I'm going to scan this again. And now it's taken a while because this is a new phone and this barcode's kind of covered up, but usually it's way faster. $68 right there. And that's factoring in the $2.50 fee. And also here, but you can see $68, and that's factoring in the top corner right here. You see the buy cost. So now it knows what you paid for the book, what all the Amazon fees are, and then the likelihood of the book selling is dependent on that e-score. Right in the middle there, 5 is a pretty low e-score. An e-score of 5 means the book only had 5 sales over the last 6 months. So the book only sold, it means the book had at least 5 days with 1 sale over the last 6 months. So an e-score of 5 means that 6-month period, the book has sold 5 times. Maybe 6, maybe 7, depending if the book sold twice in one day. That would still only count as, 1. So the e-score is how many times did the book have at least 1 sale over the last 6 months. And an e-score of, in my opinion, above 30 is a faster selling book. But if it's below 30, you really want that profit to be higher. So if you guys want a complete breakdown of what triggers I use for my business, you can click the link below to my free course. My free course is going to outline all the triggers I use. And again, I used to charge $400 for this course, but you can get it for free. And I go more in depth about reading this app. But hopefully you guys understand that using these apps is really going to allow you to make more money in your book business. And I personally don't think it'd be worth running a book business if you didn't have apps like this, because then you'd have to manually look up each book, and that would just increase the time spent finding books by 2-3x. So, if it takes you 3 hours to find 10 profitable books, you're going to be out of business pretty soon. But if you can find those 10 profitable books in half an hour, all of a sudden, you're making $100 profit, $50 profit every half hour. So the speed is the name of the game. It's all about condensing the time it takes to find profitable books. So that's it for the scanning portion of this video. Again, if you guys want more in-depth triggers, what I use, and just a little bit more about this app, go ahead and click that link to the free course below. We used to charge $400, so you guys get it for free. It'll also put you in the community of booksellers, so you can ask questions if you guys ever come across them. The next topic we're going to talk about is finding the books. So a lot of people, they pride themselves in developing an eye for profitable books. And I think that this is kind of a flawed way of thinking about the book business. They're like, oh, I know what profitable books are, and they think they can see them. And I say rely on the apps, rely on the data. But I guess my point is this. You don't want to go and find books where everybody else is finding books. You want to get access to the books that nobody else has access to yet. So let's just name a few places where we all know we can get books. We know we can get books at thrift stores. We know we can get books at libraries. Libraries almost always have a free book area, not a free book area, but an area with books for sale, sometimes free, sometimes not. Hopefully they're not for free, and you want to provide money to the library so they keep doing it. And then used bookstores. So libraries, thrift stores, used bookstores, those are like the big 3, and you should definitely hit all those places up. But you should be thinking, where were the books before they arrived at these places? That's where the money's going to be at. So the percent of books that you find profitable to sell on Amazon is contingent on how many people have looked through the books, have people already tried to sell the books on Amazon, have the books been picked over. And the further away you get from the books just being out for the general public, the better. So where were the books before they were at the library? Well, before they were out for sale for everyone at the library, they were probably in the back room of the library. So start there. Ask the director of the library, the manager, or if you're at a thrift store, ask the manager of the thrift store, hey, I'm a bookseller. Could I have access to look at the books in the back room? And then oftentimes they'll tell you yes. And if they tell you no, who cares? Move on. Ask next week. And when you get backroom access at these locations, the percent of books accepted is going to skyrocket, and you're going to have a much more profitable Amazon book business versus fighting for sloppy seconds all the time when Susie already came in an hour earlier and scanned all the books in the library. Now you're in the library scanning all these books, cussing out Romer the Roamer on YouTube, being like, this shit doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because you didn't do the work of asking for backroom access. Okay, you asked for backroom access and you got it. And you scanned the books and they were amazing. How can we take this strategy to the next level to get even more profitable books? Ask yourself, where did those books in the back room come from before they were in the back room? And the answer you'll most likely find is people's houses. So go to people's houses to find books. How do you do that? estatesales.net, garagesalefinder.com. These are two good places to find books. You can go on Nextdoor and Facebook Marketplace or just Facebook and make free book pickup posts. You can post yourself, advertise yourself as a free book pickup service. You're wondering, why would people give away books for free? Have you ever moved from one apartment to another or one house to another and you have all this shit? Do you feel like packing up 50 to 60 pound boxes of books and lugging them everywhere? There are people that look at books as a nuisance. There's people that look at books as they're collecting dust. They're not being read. They wish they were being read, and you are their solution to that problem. So you can actually come in, give them money for their books, or not even give them money, but just take the burden of the books, because the books are a burden. Find the books a new home. Maybe only 10% of the books you take from somebody's house, a preacher that died, you go and you help clean out their closet. Maybe 30% of the books are good. You made your $2,000 profit on Amazon. Those other 70% books, you can still find a home. Donate them to Goodwill, donate them to Salvation Army, donate them to another church, just figure it out. You're providing value. So never feel guilty about this. You're running a business, you're providing value to the marketplace, and that's why you're making money doing it, because you're providing value to the world and the world is paying you money for it. So just remember that even though you're a reseller and it might feel like you're taking advantage of the system, really what you're doing is providing value. You're getting paid in proportion to the quality of books that you offer on Amazon to readers all over the country. The more wide selection of valuable material you provide to all the people on the Amazon marketplace, the more money is going to lay in your bank account. And so it's just a matter of finding those profitable books. Booksellerfinder.com is also a really good place to find library sales. If you go to a library sale, be sure to show up early. Be sure to put it in your calendar, show up early. Most library sales are ran by the friends of the library, so you'll have to pay to become part of this organization. Usually it's a $10 to $30 fee. Pay to become part of the organization, become a friend of the friends of the library, and then they'll allow you to come to the pre-sale. And they know what we're doing. This is not new. This is they know that we're resellers. Show up to the pre-sale early, and there's going to be a bunch of other scanners just like you, and get after it. Scan as many books as you can. And I have other videos. You can just type in Rome of the Roamer library sale. I have videos breaking down library sale strategy and really how to get the most out of it. But I've made over $1,000 profit in a day at library sales. And it just comes down to, putting the work in. Sometimes it comes down to a little bit of luck, but if you get there early, you help them set up, maybe they'll give you backroom access that nobody else gets. Those are the key things that are really going to allow you to leave with a ton of profit. So if you guys want more strategies on finding books, again, I outline everything in my free course. The link again is below. You used to charge $400 for that. For you guys, it's free. Next thing is listing books. So this is where a lot of people screw up their time. They don't have fun with the process of listing books. It becomes such a burden. They have books all over their house. Their house is cluttered. They spent all this money on books that they thought were going to be profitable, but they're just this looming idea of figuring it out, how to get these active on Amazon. Now they have to pack them in boxes and ship them to Amazon FBA. And sometimes Amazon wants you to send 3 books to one location for their Amazon FBA, and then it wants you to send 10 books to another location. The way Amazon FBA works is you have a box, you list the items on Amazon, and I'll go over how to do that in just a second. You pack the box up. By the way, these 12 by 16 by 12 size boxes are perfect. You can get the extra small. These are actually a little bit smaller. This is 10 by 15 by 12 at Home Depot, but the 12 by 16 by 12 are good too. Extra small is really good if you have textbooks, because textbooks are denser and you don't ever want to fill these boxes over 50 pounds. If you fill a box over 50 pounds, you're going to get dinged by Amazon and they're going to charge your account a fee. So stay under 50 pounds. The extra small boxes are going to be really difficult to go over 50 pounds. So if you have employees working for you, or, your kids are helping you out, it's going to be hard for them to fill this box over 50 pounds if you get the extra small. Then what you're going to do, tape it up. Obviously, you're going to pack it better than I did. And then you get 2 labels, one for UPS, one for Amazon. Drop it off at UPS or call UPS. They'll come and pick it up for free. It goes to Amazon. Amazon receives the box. They open up the box, and what you'll actually do before this step, you see this barcode here? You're actually going to cover up that barcode with an F and SKU label right here. So I'm going to go over how to do that in just a second. But Amazon's going to take this out at the warehouse. They're going to put the book on a shelf in the warehouse. Now your book is available on Amazon.com. A customer can then purchase the book from you. Amazon will take the book, pack it, ship it to the customer. Again, that's that $5 to $8 fee that I was talking about earlier. And then the customer receives the book. As long as the customer doesn't return it in a few days, Amazon will go ahead and pay you in your bank account. They pay every 2 weeks. And then, yeah, that's the process right there. So the name of the game is to feed the beast. You want to get as many profitable books, put them in the box, ship them to Amazon, and the higher your inventory levels get, the more money you're going to make. So let's just say you have 1,000 books in inventory. You should expect to sell between 200 and 300 a month. That's between 20 and 30% of your inventory selling every month. As a bookseller, you should be selling over 20%. I would aim for 30% plus. So once you get your inventory to 2,000 plus, you could easily be selling, 400 to 800 books every month. And if each book is making you $10 profit net, let's say your average sales price is $22, $23, which for most of my students it is, then you're making $10 profit per book. If you're selling 800 books a month, now you have $8,000 coming in from your book business. And that's, about the margin that Luke and Ekaterina, if you guys want to, go ahead and listen to that podcast. Super proud of them. I didn't even know that they were having the success that they were until they reached out. I reached out to them to come on my podcast because I saw they use my software GoToLister. But I didn't realize they went through my course like a year ago, didn't even tell me about their success. And now they're absolutely crushing it out of New York. So if you guys want some inspiration, go check that out. So let's go over exactly how to list these books and the supplies needed to get these active on Amazon. You need a box, a tape gun, a Rollo printer. I'll put this here. This is optional, but you can get Scotty peelers like that so you can peel off existing labels on the book. I recommend there's a $20 scale on Amazon that's pretty nice, so either one. And then obviously you'll need labels for the books. You'll need both F and SKU labels for the book, and you'll need, these labels are going to be one for Amazon and one for UPS, these bigger labels here. So you'll need that as well. So the process, the old way people would list books on Amazon is they would go to Amazon Seller Central, that's for sellers, and then they would click on list the book, they would scan the book in, then they would have to click on what condition it was, then they'd have to manually type in the condition note, and then select add item. Then that would add the item to their inventory. They'd have to do that for every single book, and then rinse and repeat for, let's just say, 100 books. Then they would go back to manage their inventory. They would manually select all the books that they want to send in the shipment, convert to FBA, and that process would take, to list 100 books would take 2, 3, 4 hours, and it was a very slow process. So instead, there's been many softwares that have optimized this workflow, and one of the softwares I actually created it is GoToLister, and I'll pop it up on the screen here. You can easily just create a batch, go in, select the condition of the book. I list everything as good. That way, I don't have to change the condition constantly. It's going to allow me to list really fast. I keep the same condition notes, like 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And then as you can see right here, I can just scan as many books as I want, and the labels are printed out. You want to cover up the barcode, the existing barcode of the book with the F and SKU label, put it in the box, and ship it out to Amazon. Sometimes Amazon will split your shipments to different warehouses. So let's say you ship 100 books to Amazon, or you list 100 books. they'll tell you we want 30 to go to Illinois and we want maybe 60 to go to Memphis and then 10 to go to Florida. It's pretty annoying. And as you can imagine having all those books you've listed. Imagine, I've done this before, putting them in the box to go. You think the 100 books are going to one location, and then all of a sudden Amazon tells you, hey, 10 books need to go to Florida and 30 need to go somewhere else. Extremely frustrating experience. And so that's something else we've done with GoToListers, help you easily manage split shipments. I'll pop this on the screen here. After you list your 100 books or so, you'll be able to easily just scan your books, and it tells you what warehouse destination the book is going to go to. So GoToListers, only $50 a month. There's a completely free trial. If you go to gotolister.com, you can sign up for a 14-day trial. And this software eliminates the stress. It makes listing books fun. It's so easy. You could probably just teach your kids to do it. And it also has some accounting features. It's got smart pricing. So it prices your faster selling books at higher prices. You worked hard to go out and find the books. Now it's time to sell them and make a profit. You could either sell the book for, pennies on the dollar, or you could price your faster moving inventory at higher prices and make more money. So that's what smart pricing does for you. And we're about to go over repricing anyway, but just know that GoToLister does have that feature. So that's how you create shipments to Amazon. And I'll link a free video below on exactly in depth how to use GoToLister to create shipments to Amazon. But just know that if you do it the Seller Central way, feel free to go try that, but it's not going to be very fun. It's going to be tedious. There's going to be room for errors, where GoToLister keeps everything nice, simple, compact, and it makes it a fun experience. You can watch Netflix as you're listing books, and it's pretty seamless. The next topic we're going to go over is repricing books. So again, you should be selling about 20 to 30% of your inventory, maybe more if you're finding really good stuff each month, but definitely not less than 20%. My repricing philosophy is pretty simple. For the first 60 days, we're a little bit greedy. We try to make more profit on the books that we know we can sell for more. So for example, not to make it too complicated, but let's just say for this textbook here, we're sending everything FBA. It's important to realize that all of our books are going to Amazon. So what does that mean? That means that we're offering 2-day shipping to customers. Do you think customers are willing to pay more to get their item in 2 days? I'm just curious. I usually do this training live, but ask yourself, do you have an Amazon Prime membership, or do you know of anyone with the Amazon Prime membership? If you have an Amazon Prime membership, what does that mean? It means you qualify to get 2-day shipping items sent to you for free. Do you think you're going to use your Amazon Prime membership? Do you think if you have the option between buying a book for $60 and it's going to take 14 days to get to you, or you have the option of getting it tomorrow morning for $65, do you think you're going to pay $65? Most people would. And to make matters better for us, Amazon actually encourages, if you send their items Prime, they will showcase your book above all the other competition. So somebody's sending it, Joe Schmo is selling this book from his house or his warehouse. He did not send it to Amazon FBA. He listed it what's called Amazon Merchant Fulfilled. He's selling the book for $60. You, on the other hand, sent the book Amazon FBA. It's you versus him. You have 2-day shipping. He doesn't. Do you think you should charge the same price as him, or do you think you should charge more? Amazon will actually hide his offer and will showcase your offer above him. Why does Amazon do that? Amazon does that because they are not in the storage-based business. They are not in the business of storing your inventory. Yeah, they charge storage fees, and we think they make a fortune off of it, but really they don't make that much money off storing our items. They're not in the warehouse business. They're in the business of selling items. They would much rather you sell the item. They would clear up their warehouse space. They would get their 15% cut plus the prep fees from you, rather than just Joe Schmo over here. They're going to get the 15% cut, which is nice, but they're not freeing up warehouse space, and they're not getting the FBA prep fees. So they're going to showcase, and they're not making the customers happy. They don't know if Joe Schmo is going to ship it in time. Whereas if they have control over your inventory, they know that if they ship your product, they know that their systems are so good, the customer will get it in time. Amazon is a consumer-centric business. They want to make the customer happier. So my point is this. They're going to give you the buy box. The buy box is just a fancy term for when you're on the Amazon page, they're going to show your book before all the other people that are not Prime. So they're going to give you the buy box. and you'll be able to price your book for about 20% more, sometimes even more than that. One time, I sent a Jewish set of books to Amazon, and the lowest price was $1,300. Merchant fulfilled. I shipped mine. Guess how much I sold it for? I sold it for $2,000 because mine was Prime and his wasn't. I sold mine for $700 more because mine had 2-day shipping. Now, that's a rare case scenario. I don't recommend doing a $700 price increase. That was probably, I'm not going to say it was a fluke, but it's not very common. But what is extremely common is making an extra 20% price increase on what we call this the FBA bump. So whatever repricer you use, be sure that it's repricing against FBA competition. So back to what I was saying about repricing is for the first 30 to 60 days, we're actually going to let the price that we set for the book, because we're being intentional about this price we're setting for the books at the very beginning. So what we're going to do is if I ship this book, the FBA is $144 and the MF is $91. Now this book doesn't sell very fast, but if it did, let's just say this was a fast seller, I'm going to price this. The lowest offer is $91. The FBA is $144. If this was a fast selling book, I'm going to match low FBA and price it at $144. Another example is if there's 5 sellers selling one book that's a medium selling book, and 4 of the sellers are priced at $10, and the 5th seller is priced at $20, and I know those 4 sellers are going to sell out, I'm going to price my book at $20 if it's a fast, let's just say a 100K ranked book, which is a pretty fast selling book. I'm going to wait for those guys to sell out first, even if they're FBA, so I can wait to get the sale. This is very common with textbooks. During textbook season, everyone starts the textbook season with really low prices. All the students buy the low price books and the price of the books spike up. So if you're patient, you can make more money on those books. If you want in-depth, I actually give away my complete repricing strategy for free if you go to the course below. It's in module 5, and I actually screen share and walk you through the current repricer I'm using. So feel free to model that. But basically for the first 60 days, we're not really touching the price too much. Then I believe actually on 30 days, we start matching buy box. And then as time goes on, we begin to be a little bit more aggressive with it and make sure that we sell the books. So we start bringing the price down. So that's my repricing strategy. And I hope what you guys get from that is you can price your Prime books higher. And also if you're patient, you can wait for the low ball sellers to sell out and you can capture that high price. And that's why we give that 30-day buffer. Fast selling books, we price the item. We wait in line for a little while, wait for the low sellers to sell out. Or perhaps we just know we're going to buy box over the merchants, and then we're allowing ourselves to get the higher price rather than just matching the price and not make as much money. Now let's go over scaling a book business. What's it look like to scale a book business? What I've done is I created a business called restrictedinventory.com. This is a consignment business for Amazon sellers. Amazon sellers cannot sell a lot of textbooks. And so what I've done with my business is I said, hey, you guys can send me your books and I'll sell them for you on consignment and pay you 50% of the profit. So for, let's just say a book sells for $40, I pay you $20 and I keep $20 for myself. 50-50 split net profit. What we've done actually is we've made it so if you sell a $100 book, we never take more than $20 cut. So you keep 80, we keep 20 for ourselves. So anyway, I bring that up to say you want to systematize everything in your business to operate without you if you really want to scale this business. Now, maybe you don't want to scale. Maybe this is just a side hustle for you. You're like, Romer, I'm cool with just making an extra couple thousand a month. I don't want employees. I don't want to think about systems. I don't want to think about any of this. But if you do want, and at some point, maybe you'll even start with books, like I said, have some success shipping inventory to Amazon, and then you'll get really excited about it and you'll start wholesale or online arbitrage or some other model, whatever you do, I hope you have success. But at some point, you are going to have to develop systems and delegate things if you truly want this to be a business that is automated while you sleep. So let's talk about the systems you want to delegate. The most powerful system to delegate is finding the inventory. So what I've done is I have other Amazon sellers who find inventory that they can't sell on Amazon and they're sending me books. I've also done this with my college. My college has a bunch of textbooks from athletes, and my college will pack the books up in a box and ship them to me. So these are 2 examples of me delegating sourcing to where I just have boxes of hundreds of dollars of profitable books arriving at my warehouse in Texas, my warehouse partner, he opens the boxes up. And this leads to number 2 is the listing systems. So the sourcing system is the books are arriving at the warehouse, and I've developed relationships so that happens. Okay. Maybe you pay somebody to go find books for you. Maybe you buy pallets of books and pay other people to go through them. Maybe you work with libraries or colleges like I did, and you have them scan the books for you with Scott IQ and ship them to your house. And then, so now my point is you have all these systems to automatically get books shipped to you. And then the next step is list the books on Amazon. This is a very, very easy one to delegate. The books come in the door, and now you teach them how to use your listing software. Let's say go to Lister, list all the books, boom, ship them out, Amazon FBA. The beautiful thing about Amazon FBA is this is a complete system that is already systematized. Jeff Bezos did it for us. Your books are delivered to Amazon, prepped, put on the shelf. You have a sales channel, Amazon.com. They're trying their best to sell your inventory. When your inventory sells, they prep, pack, and ship it to the customer. So whether you like it or not, you have systematized, or Jeff Bezos rather, has systematized a part of your business. So you've already delegated the prepping, packing, shipping, selling of the book. All that's been delegated. What I'm advocating for you is if you truly want to take advantage of any Amazon business, you need to have profitable inventory being found while you sleep, and you need it to be listed while you sleep. You can use third-party prep centers to list for you. You can hire help to list for you. You can pay your kids to list for you. There's a bunch of different ways, but if you truly want a business that is a business that operates while you're not there, you need to delegate sourcing, delegate listing, and then you can automate repricing. So you want to get a repricer set up, which is the easiest one because it's a computer. And again, module 5 of my course goes over this. So if you guys want that complete strategy, go there. And that's really it, guys. Hopefully this video was valuable for you. If you want to learn more about selling on Amazon, be sure to go to that free course. That's also going to link you to the community of booksellers who are having success doing that. And much love, and I'll catch you in the next video.